Hello, it's Love Coach Nicole Moore here, and today I'm going to get really real with you about what it really takes as a woman to manifest in a really amazing, amazing man. So if you're following me for the Attract the One challenge that's happening this week, you'll know that today's step 2, is all about loving men. It's about what are the thoughts that you're holding in your mind about men? Are they positive or are they negative? The truth is, most women have a lot of negative thoughts about men. They have a lot of limiting beliefs about men that keep them from actually attracting a great man in your life. But what I want to talk about on this video specifically is, how do you get a man addicted to you? Hey, Julie, how do you get a man addicted to you, committed to you, devoted to you? Why is it that one woman can have a man who is, buying her flowers and chocolates, who is just devoted and caring, who remembers her birthday, who on anniversaries, he's the one planning it? One of my clients, Elizabeth, she attracted in a man who he proposed within 6 months. And then when he was planning the wedding, he had a wedding planning app on his phone because he was so excited to marry her. What makes one woman get that kind of man? So obviously committed and devoted. The cool thing is they've since had a baby. I'm seeing pictures of their baby on Facebook, and he's just such a loving, caring, devoted man to her. So why does one woman have a man who's so excited to commit to her for life that he has a wedding planning app on his phone? And why do other women struggle and it's like you're doing everything to get a guy to commit, and maybe you don't even have men noticing you, or maybe the men that do notice you, they're not committed to you. They're not calling you back. You're sitting by the phone waiting, wondering, does he really like me? It has to do with you. See, most women, even maybe you doing the Attract the One challenge, if you're not, I'm going to put a link below. Subscribe to the Attract the One challenge so you can do the 7-day free challenge with all of us. But most women think it's about getting the right guy. Once I find the right man, and I hear this all the time from women, I'm so ready for love. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. What they mean is that I want love. But what they're missing is they haven't made themselves ready. So I was in a relationship in the past with a man who I thought was my soulmate, but he ended up becoming emotionally abusive and narcissistic, and I could never fully feel that commitment from him. I always felt like he was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. In fact, he even cheated on me multiple times, and I always felt like he didn't care. Now I'm in a relationship with an incredible man who is totally devoted 100%. He tells me all the time, he's like, you're stuck with me. Like, I'm with you for life, and it's not a fight. And he's so devoted to me, and he cares about me so much, and I never, ever, ever question. I am secure in my relationship. What's the difference? You might think it's the man, right? Well, obviously you attracted in a bad man, and now you attracted in a good man. But the truth is, I changed. And when I changed, what was available to me on the outside changed. So ask yourself this question. Are you saying I want love, but not making yourself ready to receive the love that you want? Because if you want higher love than what's in your life right now, it's going to require a change from you. Here's what I mean by that. There's actually different dating personalities. So dating advice doesn't just work for every woman, because every woman has a different piece that she needs to shift. So for example, if you are the woman who, when you meet a guy, you go to crazy town, you're obsessing, you're analyzing, you are fearing that he's going to abandon you, you're always seeking validation, you actually need something different to shift within you. Then, for example, if you're the woman who is Miss Independent, thinks she has to do everything on her own, doesn't trust man, can't let a man lead, super in her masculine, you actually have a different piece that you need to shift. Now, if you're a woman, for example, who is afraid to be vulnerable, you don't want to let anyone in. You don't want the rug to be pulled out from under you. Men experience you as cool or cold. They're not really sure if you're interested in them or not. So even if they really like you, they end up pulling away, and then you're freaking out thinking, what did I do? But they liked you in the first place. It's just you didn't open your heart. That woman has a different piece that she needs to actually shift. What if you're the overgiver? What if you're the woman who you become a martyr, you meet a man and you give everything to him and you think, if I just give, he's going to like me back, but you always end up feeling like they're taking advantage of you. That's a different piece within you to shift. Okay? Are you hearing me? What if you're the woman who's chronically single? You just never have a man in your life. I have a friend like this. I have one of my friends, Emily. She described herself as chronically single. I've talked to many women and it's like, you're a highly functioning single person. You've been single for so long, you've gotten so used to it that you've kind of made lemonade out of lemons, as one of my clients told me. And you're so used to being single, it's part of your identity. You refer to yourself as the single person. That person has a different piece to shift. So I've just described to you 5 very different kinds of women. They can all say, I'm so ready for love. Nicole, I'm so ready for love. I want my man. I declare I'm going to meet my man. They all want the same thing. But they have to shift in a different way to meet the kind of man that they want. So it requires something of you. Are you clear on what your piece is that needs to shift? I will tell you, part of what mine was I had to shift my self-worth. Because when I was in the relationship with the emotionally abusive narcissist, there was a part of me that didn't believe I deserved better. There was a part of me that believed that that was the best that I would get. And I believed him when he told me, you're lucky that I want you because no one else will want you. And if I had stayed there, there's no way I would have attracted in my man, Mike, who literally says, you are a goddess. You're the best woman on the planet. You're the most incredible woman I've ever known. You know, he tells me all the time, you are a genius. I mean, he literally has such a high view of me. So I had to shift internally for the outside to change. I had to grow my self-worth. That's one of the things I had to do. So who are you as a woman? What's your dating personality right now? Are you the woman who is, like me, low self-esteem, low self-worth, so taking crumbs from men? Are you the woman who's so independent that you cannot let a man in to save your life and you keep feeling like men aren't there for you, but you're not letting them in? Are you the woman who's so afraid of the rug getting pulled out from you, of being hurt again, that your heart is closed, that you're not vulnerable, that men are maybe seeing you as beautiful and attractive, but they're not feeling you, so they're not choosing you? Are you the woman who's been single for so long that even to think that somebody amazing could be in your life is such a shift for your identity that even though you want love, you're fighting it? It's kind of like a dog that's been abused, and if you try and bring love to it, it bites you back. So you got to figure out who you are first, and then you got to figure out what piece is it within you that needs to shift, because I promise you, if he's not here right now, there's something within you that you need to shift. So you can declare you want love all day long, but are you making yourself ready to receive it? So what I want you to do right now is ask yourself, why is he not here yet? And write that down. Why is he not here yet? And you know, when I was in that relationship with a narcissist, I knew that my self-love wasn't where it should be, but I wasn't working on it. So what is it that needs to shift within you? Is it your self-worth? Is it getting into your feminine energy so you can actually let a man in? Is it working on healing your inner little girl, healing your heart wounds so you can show up as the empowered woman in love? Is it learning how to be vulnerable? Is it feminine communication? So a man actually feels like he wants to step forward with you. Is it learning how to show up as the queen? So a man treats you that way. I want you to hear me on this. If you do not shift that piece, it doesn't matter how much you want love. It doesn't matter if you declare, I'm going to meet the one in, 3 months. I'm going to meet the one in a year. And here's another thing I want to tell you guys and why I'm making this video. I did the Attract the One challenge last year. And it's crazy because I'm seeing so many women who did it last year. Why are they doing it again? I'm calling you guys out. Zeta, I see you. Halliday, I see you. Sherelle, I see you. I mean, there's a lot of women who are in the challenge again. Why? Why are they in the challenge again? Because the 7 steps to attract the one work. But have you shifted the thing that you need to shift inside of you to meet the right man? You haven't, because you're here. So this is a straight, direct, calling you out with fierce love, because I care message. Stop focusing on, let me just find the perfect man, and focus on, let me make myself ready to receive the kind of man that I want. Because if I hadn't changed, I wouldn't have attracted my man in. Are you hearing me on this? People who are watching, let me know if this is resonating with you. So you declare you want the one. You figure out your limiting beliefs about men, and then you ask yourself. You get really real with yourself, and you ask yourself, who is the version of me that's a match for the man that I want? Like, for example, I wanted a man who cherished me, who adored me, who loved me like my man Mike does. But I wasn't a match for that, because I had so many insecurities and such deep self-worth issues that all I could attract at best was a man who I thought was my soulmate, but that ended up becoming emotionally abusive and hurtful to me. So what you're going to attract on the outside is what you have on the inside. Mira's saying, I see you and hear you. It makes so much sense. I think I know what I need to shift. Yeah, we'll work. Mira, don't worry. Like, I've got you on this piece. We're going to help you shift whatever it is that you need to shift. But this is a very direct message. You might feel a different tone in me than you feel on any of my other videos. The reason is because I knew I needed to come and pierce through your hearts and get you to wake up to the reality that you will not meet your man until you know how to be that woman who makes a man committed and addicted. So how do you do that? How do you make a man addicted and committed and wanting to be with you? Well, you love men. That's step 2 of the Attract the One challenge. How you think about men and how you perceive men is actually through a loving lens. So you respect men, you appreciate men, you see men for how amazing they are, and you let go of any ideas. You know if you're loving men or not based on what you're talking about men to your girlfriends. So are you going on Tinder and going, right, with all the men? Or do you have a positive view of men? Do you appreciate men? When a man hits on you, is your response like fear or annoyance? Or are you just appreciative of the fact that this man is amazing and courageous to step up and go for what he wants? So that's one of the ways that you get a man committed. The second way is you've got to be showing up as the queen. You have to be showing up as a woman who fully values herself. And this is not just in your head, ladies. This is another thing that I want to dispel. This thing of like, you know, I tell you all the time to be the prize, and I want you to be the prize. But there's a very big difference between I'm the prize and I know my value. I know my worth. There's a very big difference. And the difference is you watching a video of mine and going, that's a great idea, and you actually living it. There's a very, very big difference. But that's how you get a man committed. You are the prize. And then you use feminine communication. So most women do not know how to communicate with men. Most women, I'm sorry to say, ladies, you communicate in the wrong way, meaning you shut him down. You make him feel not appreciated. You don't let him actually understand you emotionally. You're ordering him instead of inspiring him. So there's a way to communicate with men where he will do exactly what you tell him to do, and he's going to think it's his idea. Isn't that a lot better than telling a man what to do? So what I do is I inspire my man Mike to do everything I want for me, and he will do anything I ask, and he tells me that. I will do anything for you. But I don't do it by telling him what to do. I do it by using my words to inspire him what to do and actually make him think that it's his idea. Then he's emotionally bought in. So feminine communication is how you get a man to worship and adore you. It's about how you show up, ladies. It's about how you show up. And if you don't have the man on the outside who is what you want, there's something within you that needs to shift. So please stop focusing on the guy as if he's the fix. What you need to do is attract in a good man and then turn him into a great man by how you show up. That's why one man can be totally devoted to a woman, and you know, for another woman, he's not. My amazing man, Mike, was married before me. He was in a relationship before me, and he did not do the same things for his ex-wife. So I get a man who's a king, who adores me, who will do anything for me, who worships me, who is good to my friends, who's even like, you know, he does all the things for me that I don't want to do. You know, I just had a big problem with the payments in my business going through, like something happened with the Amex payments. He took over that for me. So I don't have to be in that, like, let me figure out this stuff that I want to figure out. He's just doing it for me. So why is he doing that for me? But in his last relationship, even though he was married and committed, he wasn't acting like a king. He wasn't treating that woman how he treats me. The difference is how I'm showing up. So even if you have a guy that's your boyfriend, even if you have a guy that's married to you, even if he's committed, are you the kind of woman that can get absolute cherishing, absolute devotion, absolute worship from a man? If not, something within you needs to shift. If you do not know what that is, click the link below, get on the phone with one of my coaches. They will help you out. I'm so clear on this because I don't want you doing the Attract the One challenge again. Okay? I'm tired of seeing all these women doing it again. And I know they didn't actually get the support they need to shift that thing within them that's going to make all the difference. So they're grabbing information here and there, free information. Yay, fun, free challenge. Not that the challenge isn't great, you guys, but you can do the challenge and not shift within and not get your man. I want you to know what it is exactly is your piece. Remember, there's 6 different archetypes of women. I explained some of them in this video. There's the woman that's Miss Independent, that she can't let a man in. There's the woman that's Miss Ice Queen, and she can't open her heart, and men experience her as cold. There's the one that's Miss Overgiver, and she just gives to a man, and she lets men walk all over her, and she accepts crumbs. There's the woman that's chronically single. There's the woman that's the total catch, and everyone says she's a catch, but why doesn't she have a boyfriend? So there's different archetypes of women that I've discovered in working with hundreds of women over the years. And if you're one woman, you require different dating advice than if you're another woman. So stop grabbing all the free information out there without actually sitting and understanding, out of everything that I'm seeing, what is the 1 or 2 or even 3 pieces that I need to shift? Hey, Emily, you're the chronically single, my love. Not for long, though. I was talking about you. What is it that needs to shift within me to get that guy? Don't grab all this free information without knowing that, because then you're going to spin. You're not going to get the love that you want. You're going to be doing my Attract the One challenge again next year, and I don't want that to happen for you. I actually want this Attract the One challenge to be a great start to you going and getting the right man. So if you don't know what it is within you that needs to shift, and if you're finally accepting, listen, it's not the guys, it is me. And you want to know exactly where you need to put your focus on now. Remember, the chronically single woman needs to focus on something different than the woman who's the overgiver. The Miss Independent woman needs to focus on something different than the woman who is super in her masculine, for example. Wait, no, those are the same people. The masculine woman needs to focus on something different than the Ice Queen. The overgiver needs to focus on something different than the totally single, total catch. Are you hearing me? So if you don't know what that piece is, you're kind of wasting your time. Like I said, I didn't attract in a different man until I shifted. I was the overgiver. I was the one who didn't know my worth. I was the one who accepted crumbs. So I had to work on my self-worth. But somebody who's chronically single needs to work on something different than me. So you can do the 7-day Attract the One challenge. But if you don't know what your blocks are, meaning what you need to shift inside of you to meet the right man, I'm going to be very real with you. The challenge will not work. So don't do the challenge without figuring this thing out. If you don't know, click on the link below. You can get on the phone with one of my coaches. We will help you determine exactly what you need to focus on now to meet your man. Then the steps are going to work. but you got to work it for it to work with you. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. We're going to be on step 3 of the Attract the One challenge. It's a super fun step where you really get to dream bigger about what's available for you. Sending you lots and lots and lots of love. Bye, guys.